today, and now you feel fat today also. You're welcome. And now there's a podcast.
We have there might be dogs running all around. I'm just going to forewarn the listeners because sometimes I edit it out if it gets crazy, and I still might, but just expect dogs to be running around, us stopping down to pick them up.
A couple of yells from us.
Yeah, the greenie has finally been consumed by Finn, so
great.
That no longer, and they seem to be getting along just fine.
I know, I'm obsessed. He's literally like a plush toy.
Yeah, that's so funny. Hi, honey. Hi, Harvest. Okay, now Finn, now it's your turn to be chill.
Okay, they're 69.
Yeah. It's not that kind of podcast.
Honestly, Harvest is a power bottom, so.
Don't be offended. I feel like they're both betas.
Yes. No, I'm not offended at all.
Some people are like weird if you say that their
No,
dog's
he's
a beta.
totally a beta.
There you go.
I don't even know what he just ate. Whatever. Who cares?
No, there's no food in that bowl. He's licking air.
I think, yeah. Oh.
There we go. We got some water. Okay. Yeah.
Hi, sweetie.
And we have a cat here. I don't know if he's in frame, but he's just judging everybody. There we go. Hi.
I'm dying. This is amazing.
Hi. Everybody's chill. Oh my God. This is so funny.
This is motherhood.
Yeah, literally. This is single motherhood, people.
I'm dying. Hi, Finn.
At least you get it. Like sometimes I'm like so embarrassed by the way the animals can act, and I
love animals so much. I feel like I'm just more worried about Harvest pissing in your house, honestly.
Yeah, I know. And this is him with the haircut. Like his hair usually is like crazy looking.
Did you get him from a breeder?
No, I got him on Craigslist.
What?
Yeah, I know. People don't really do that anymore.
Scary.
Yeah.
Wait, why?
Yeah.
Sad.
So I know, crazy. So one of my best friends does rescue. A few of my really good friends do rescue.
Like fun. Oh.
Like that's just like part of her life. It's just like we could have plans to hang out, and it'll be like really quick. I have to go and rescue a possum on the side of the highway. Like they do animal like cats, dogs.
Full-time job?
No, just amongst the chaos of their life. They like fit it in.
What organization?
So she used to have her following. It's in New Jersey, and she just like it's like all on Facebook, and it's just like a cat network. Yeah, it's not through.
I love her.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
such
an
animal person.
That's
from your friend.
Yeah. That's
and then
why
also him from your friend.
So kind of. So there was my friend was looking on Craigslist just because they look on there to see if anything, like her mom has a dog that is like this giant standard poodle from Craigslist, and like you could tell like some trash person posted it.
Yes.
You know? And trying to make some money.
I can't.
Yeah. And a lot of times they'll lie about the breed to be like,
of course,
to like be like, this is a designer dog or whatever.
Of course.
Anyway, so we came,
and it'll be like a pit bull mix, and you're like, you're kidding me, like his
head
is
clearly. literally. So, but his listing was from a very normal lady. They're conversating.
Finn's noises are like
he sounds like literally like a gremlin.
He's like saying words.
Yeah,
I'm dying. I think that's probably
there we go.
Oh, perfect.
That is the favorite.
Oh, good. So they'll fight over that for a while.
Yeah.
He's a dick like that. Like he'll take your favorite toy, the favorite toy of the dog, and they always know.
Finn also will, if I have a dog over here, because sometimes I'll watch dogs on the side. And they'll just go to the toy bin.
That's good cash.
It's great cash.
Yeah.
Finn hasn't touched those toys in how long? Someone goes to pick up one of the toys.
It's his favorite toy
That's
now.
my favorite toy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's such an oldest child.
He really is.
Or only child, rather.
Yeah. And like he has puppy. He's drooling. He's literally drooling. That's how excited he is.
Ew.
But he I feel like he looks young, like he has a puppy energy. But
he's so much puppy energy.
He's like almost 10 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
10's not like that old.
It's not that old, but
10's the new 5. Everyone knows that.
Honestly, with the fucking
are like he is like spitting. I've never seen a dog drool so much out of nowhere. I'm obsessed with him. He's so like
yeah. But the expensive food we give him, he should live forever because he gets the good shit. Oh my God.
I love baby. What
It's
do you feed him?
farmer's dog.
Okay, wait. Do you
Yeah.
think that's like legit healthy?
He used to have a really bad cough that's gone away.
Really? From allergies, probably.
So I don't know if it was from allergies or what, but I think the food, like, I literally just would give him like Little Caesars, or not little,
Yeah.
whatever, Caesars.
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Which is,
Yeah, Little Caesars
which is like eating
the
Little.
pizza place.
It literally is fast food for dogs,
No, it
like
is.
that kind of stuff.
So oh my God. So I was seeing this guy when we adopted him together, and he got into not a Little Caesars. He got into one of the Caesars
yeah.
things and like ate the entire thing.
Yeah.
And the night before my sister's wedding, it was the night before my sister's wedding. I wasn't there, but the guy I was seeing was in the hotel. I stayed at home with my parents.
Yeah.
He was in the hotel and he was watching Harvest, and Harvest had explosive diarrhea
Oh, Harvest.
12 times throughout the night.
No.
And the guy I was seeing was like, I slept for 2 hours.
Oh my god!
I know. I
Thank
was
God you
like-
weren't there. You had a busy day the next
Oh my
morning.
God. It was I feel so bad. Like even
Yeah.
thinking back to it, I'm like, oh my God, this poor guy. Like, like he did not sign up for this. The poor guy. But it was like, so yeah, that was a very strong lesson. And yeah, this is like very unhealthy dog food. Like a dog should not be reacting this strongly to like us. And they're small. They're this big. Like that was so crazy.
Yeah, they're tiny.
I know.
They're small. And so it was Joe to be like, oh, I keep getting ads for this. Like, let's just see. Not that he had there wasn't really anything wrong with him per se. But like, I was like,
You want
yeah.
your dog to live long. You're
Yeah,
like, I want them
yeah,
to be
he was-
healthy.
Yeah, and I was giving him a mixture of like healthy food and I guess fast food of dog food.
Yeah.
And he ever since he's been on Farmer's Dog, he doesn't have that cough, and I think he was getting like the dog version of GERD,
Oh,
with that
no.
shitty food.
Yeah.
And yeah, so his poops are great. He like sees that Finn is like laying on you, and he's like, absolutely
jealous,
not.
yeah.
Yes.
I love you. Jealous. Jealous.
How long? And it's totally fine. I'm curious. How long were you dating that guy before you got a dog?
Not long.
Not long. Yeah.
It was not a great decision, and I think it probably led to why we didn't stay together. Actually, I don't know, because I mean, I always say to myself, like, if it wasn't the dog, it would have been something else.
Oh, of course.
So I think it was kind of like, if anything, the dog was
If your
a
relationship
blessing.
can't handle the dog,
Yeah.
there's gonna be real shit.
I know.
That
Well,
cannot.
that's kind of like what I would say to him a lot, because we originally adopted him. What's he doing?
No, he's fine. I'm just looking at the recording.
We originally adopted him with the intention of like, so I was fostering him, and the foster was like, the shelter was like, we're gonna bring him back to the shelter and see if he gets adopted. And I like freaked out. I was like, no, like he can't go from sleeping in my bed to
Yeah.
like sleeping
Oh
back
my
in
God,
the
that's
shelter.
awful.
And I was really devastated by it. So then we both kind of agreed, like, okay, we'll adopt the dog and then we'll try to adopt him out. And then we broke up, and now he's just my dog.
Now he's just your dog.
Yeah.
That's your consolation prize.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
like for a while after that, I was like, I'm gonna adopt him out. Like my family was gonna help me, and we
Yeah.
were all gonna make it happen. Come here. Harvest, come here. Harvest. Harvest. You get over here. Come here.
The way Finn is still
I'm
drooling.
obsessed. So yeah, now he's just like my dog, but
Yeah.
it is really hard because he does have separation anxiety.
Yeah.
So he kind of like, I have to pretty much like medicate him if I have like a long night of doing comedy. I don't even know what he's eating.
I love that he keeps going to eat
I
from
know.
an empty bowl.
No, he's insane.
It's like
he's very optimistic.
He's
I give
doing
him that.
you know, like when like you're so bored in your house and you keep opening the
Yes,
fridge and like
yes,
nothing's in
and
there,
nothing's in
like,
there.
and you just keep going back. That's what he keeps doing with the bowl.
I think for him it's just really is pure optimism. I think he's
yeah,
like, food
like
will
maybe,
appear.
yeah, maybe someone
and
put stuff in there.
He's like, and I'm a happy dog,
Because
and
that
everyone loves me.
is that is how they eat. Of just like, you know.
They pick at scraps.
All of a sudden, there's food in this bowl that
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
there
that's so
before.
true.
So
I do. This is amazing. His growling is so like mean, and I'm
I
like,
know.
you're so ridiculous.
this is like a dog ASMR episode.
I know, I'm obsessed.
Oh my god, so funny. Yes.
But yeah, I'm still in like a little bit of a tough spot where I'm kind of like, okay, this is getting harder, and I am dating again, and
Yeah.
I do want to meet somebody, and it's tough because it's like on the one hand, I wouldn't want to be with a guy that's like, I can't be with someone with a dog. Like I wouldn't want to be with somebody that doesn't want a dog. But on the other hand, I'm like, I think I get it. Like they would kind of become a step parent in a way where they're like, where they want dogs, but they're not ready for it necessarily.
Yeah.
So it is tough, I guess, because it's just me. And he has separation anxiety. So when I leave to go do comedy, oh, he broke the toy. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's so fine. Just don't swallow it.
Come here.
It's like a Twizzler.
I know. So when I leave to go do comedy, like I have to give him medication because he was starting to like self-harm.
Oh,
he's got like one of those.
Like he would like gnaw his paws.
And like, and he would chew on, I have to put child locks on all my cupboards because he gets into them. And that's where he ate the 43 greenies. He got into the cupboard. And he'll chew on the child lock so much until he starts bleeding. So it's just like, and I don't want to medicate him. I don't like it because I'm like, I don't know what this shit is. So
found lamb chop.
Okay, I thought that was like your underwear for a second, and I was like, I am so sorry,
girl.
Because I was like, I can't grab that.
Underwear is on lock in this house because he's obsessed.
No, they love vaginas. They love vaginas.
Yes,
it's
they
disgusting.
love vaginas.
Which who doesn't? I mean, do you
Come
blame
on.
them? But like Harvest, that was very rude. Oh my god!
Like Rose in on the door in the Titanic. Like there's no room.
There's no room. But I wish you luck. No, he chewed my so I work out and he chewed my biker shorts. He would take them off because I sweat a lot. So like I hang my clothing up on like my little knobs on the closet doors.
Yes,
so that
I
they
do
can
the
air
same
out.
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally. Otherwise I'd always be doing laundry.
Yes. And I also don't want like my laundry to start getting like moldy
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
So I just kind of let it air out. But ever since bringing him in, he grabs the biker shorts and chews the crotch. Because that's where I am on it.
Yeah.
Choose it. And I wore the biker shorts the other day. And my left lip.
I'm dying.
When I did a squat, I looked down and there was my left lip.
Dead.
And I was like, Harvest.
That's so
I was
funny.
like, you fucking asshole.
That is so funny.
I was dying. I was like, someone in security is looking at these cameras going, do I make money off of this? So if you see it out there, I didn't shave that day.
Yeah. And I want some royalties.
I would
on that.
I would like some from that. But yeah, that's Harvest in a nutshell.
That's so funny. He does the same thing Finney does. Like Finney, his goal is to get the guts out of everything.
Yes.
100%.
I have Versace slippers, brag. And I came home today and he fucking chewed my Versace slippers. I actually was you know what's funny though? He's tried destroying them so many times that I actually was just impressed that he finally figured out how to.
Right.
Because they seem indestructible. I'm very impressed. But he chewed the bottom, so I can still wear them.
You can still wear them, but it's like your Versace sandals.
Like those were a gift, and
yes.
I love them, and I wear them constantly.
I will say, because it's only a few months of you having him, and you will like I went through so much of that with him.
I hope he gets better.
You not only will they get better, you'll learn like I said, underwear's on lock. Like there is no rogue underwear because he's out of the phase of chewing the crotch out, but he does like he follows me into the bathroom and if I pull my underwear down
into the underwear,
he goes and he like does somersaults. Like he literally like thrashes his body around it. I'm like, this is sick. This is
bizarre.
Sick.
It's bizarre. And it's creepy. And I'm like,
you're my son.
Oh my God. Wait, do you ever like masturbate?
Oh, I mean,
is he a cuck about it?
He is.
He's a cuck.
Sometimes he makes himself scarce, but like, cause like there's not too many places to go in here. But other times it's like, okay, you little voyeur.
He's like, he watches me, and I'm just like, ew. Like I have to like close. And
New
then
York
he comes
studio
in.
Apartment.
Oh God, I'm like, I'm like, is this bestiality?
Yeah,
like,
but I'm also like,
but it's
whatever.
him, not me.
Literally, everybody has dogs. Everybody masturbates in studio apartments.
It's the worst is when I have sex.
Yeah,
and he like gets involved.
Oh,
and I'm like,
we're lucky to not have anyone get involved, but there are just so many eyes. There are so many eyes in this apartment,
God. Especially cats.
Oh
Cats,
yeah,
I feel like are really big on that stuff.
Oh my
like,
God,
with the sex. They're always like.
One time we got done, and I was like, he was on top of the pillow. I was like, what?
Oh my God,
you were there the whole time? Yeah, awful.
And he's like, yeah.
And he's just like, I'm disgusted.
He's like, you guys are trash.
Yeah, disgusting.
Wait, I'm so happy that they found equilibrium.
Yeah,
here.
we.
Oh my God! Wait, he is destroying the
It's
toy.
okay.
I'm so sorry.
No. That's like the 20th lamb chop.
Are you sure?
Because
wait, but now you have to get another. I'll pay you for another.
Dude,
one.
it's
I'll
fine.
pay
You
for
see
another
that little flower pillow?
Yeah.
It's all destroyed because of Finney.
I was gonna say, it does look very
uneven.
uneven.
And I can't throw it out because he'll freak out.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Now they're like. take it off of YouTube.
This is gonna get flagged for bestiality. It's gonna be weird. Damn. Just do a little blur.
Yeah.
while we're talking about eating disorders.
Yeah.
He's just sucking off my dog.
While
Unreal.
he's going to town on
Yeah,
that
just
little,
living the life.
yeah.
Honestly, he's a pillow princess. Good for you, Harvest.
Seriously. Oh my God. Amazing. So is he from a shelter in New York?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I volunteer at Bide We. They're an amazing shelter. Amazing shelter. I love them. I volunteered there. I volunteered there for a couple of years. Oh my God.
He's
Good
like,
boy.
He's like, I've had enough.
Yeah. I volunteered
Consent
there
is important, Finn.
for sure. For sure. And then I started fostering, and then I adopted.
Yeah.
So I kind of, and I donate there. So I'm kind of like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And I put like, I bring them like old sheets that he's destroyed,
Yeah.
like, and stuff like that. So yeah, I got him from that shelter. I knew I would probably adopt from there one day. I definitely didn't think it would just be like this.
Yeah.
But he's just my little pal now. Like I
Of
can't,
course.
I can't imagine life without him
Yeah.
now. So
Yeah. No, of course. Of course. Can I ask how old are you?
I'm 29.
29.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I think I was like 25 when I got Finn.
Yeah.
And
That's young to get a dog.
It is young to get a dog, but I was just ready. Like
Yeah.
I had so many girlfriends that had like their little companion dog. I was
Yeah.
like, I want one of those. And
Yeah.
I was single and
Yes.
it
It does help a lot, like going through breakups with
my
him.
God,
or
yeah.
breakups. Like it's not. I haven't had him for that long, but like when things end with people and
Yeah.
stuff, it is so much easier because I'm like I have a responsibility right now, so I don't have
Mm-hmm.
the energy to prioritize that as much as I need to prioritize this.
Yes.
So I do think it helps demonstrably.
Yeah.
Like of course I'm sad and I'm like, oh, woe is me, but then I'm like, fuck, I gotta take him on a walk, and then
Yeah.
that forces like good stimulation and
Yes.
all that stuff. So
yes.
it helps demonstrably, but again, having sex in front of him is like he tries to get involved.
Oh yeah, no, you gotta cut that out, buddy.
I know.
You gotta cut that out. So where are you from?
I'm from Westchester.
Westchester.
Yeah, it's like right outside the
Okay.
city.
Yeah, it's right there. Okay. And so when you were young, did you like do sports or were you more of like a theater kid? What did that look like?
So I really wanted to be a theater kid, but something like everyone in my family played sports.
Yeah.
And I do love being active. So I had the choice to do either theater or sports, and I went with sports.
That makes
though
sense.
It does, but looking back, I'm like, why didn't I just do theater? I do think if I had done theater, though, I would not have fit in with the theater kids. And because they're actually so much meaner than
They are
popular
so
people.
mean.
They're the meanest, most judgmental people I've ever met in my entire life.
Yeah.
And they like, whatever. I wouldn't have fit in with them.
Yeah.
And I think I would have just felt like really sad all the time. And I think being part of sports teams brought out like a really great side to me. So, and I love being active, and I love just like sports specifically, like not even just working out, but just the strategy and the
Yeah.
focus and it's very important. So I did sports. I did field hockey and lacrosse. And then in the summers I was a sailor.
Sailor? That's awesome.
I know, a Jew in a sailboat. Who'd have thunk?
Whoa, that's so awesome. Would you like sail in the Hamptons?
No, upstate New York and like the Adirondacks.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
so cool.
So my parents never sailed. My mom has never sailed before. She may have gone in a boat, but I don't know. My dad
On a
tried
cruise
sailing.
ship.
Yeah, like maybe. But my dad tried sailing. Not good. And then my sisters and I all got really into sailing. My two older sisters became like a team together, and they won so many regattas. And then I was more like the business savvy one,
Yeah.
where I knew I wasn't a good skipper, but I knew who was a good skipper. And I was like, okay, you're going to be my skipper. I'm going to cruise so that I could win all the regattas.
Yeah, nice. So when you say, so how many people are on the sailboat?
For what I did, I started when I was about 5 years old. So
Whoa.
it was, I know.
You were never afraid of drowning.
No, I love the water. The ocean does freak me out, though. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
But you start alone, and then you go into like 2 people boats. So I would do like FJs, 420s, stuff like that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
It was so fun. I love it. I actually miss it sometimes. I don't miss what we did do for it. It was just very intense, like all the time.
Yeah.
But leisurely, I miss it. Like
Yeah,
it's so
sure.
fun to be in a race and like the intensity of it, and it's just it's such a blast. I
And
love
you
it.
said you started when you were 5.
Yeah.
And did you do it like through college, through high school?
No, it was very much just a summer thing with our family. I did look into sailing at Hobart for a while before I ended up going to Trinity College. But I was like, I'm not waking up at 4 a.m. in the freezing cold to get out on the water, and
your priorities change when you're in college.
I was like, I don't know if that's what I wanted. It'd be cool. Like there was a part of me that was like, this would be sick. But then I was like, you know what? We can leave it in the past and just kind of whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So being active and being like a competitive sports player has always been a part of your life. So you said it was lacrosse and field hockey. So were you a part of teams that were like really good, or was it just like, we're not good?
Yes.
But like
very good teams. I'm so, even when I look back, I'm like, I'm so impressed with the people that I played these sports with. Field hockey, I loved my field hockey team. I loved my lacrosse team. Like I really just had such great experiences. I think with lacrosse I also played since I was 5 years old. And my dad played lacrosse, so that was where that came from. Lacrosse, I was actually really good at lacrosse, but I kind of like put myself down when I made varsity and became kind of like the character on the team, as all comedians have done.
Yeah, you just decided
ways.
You were the personality on the varsity team.
And so I became the one that was bad at lacrosse, even though I was good, and I would make myself be bad because I could be funny for everybody instead. And so I became like the bench captain. So it was like my friend and I became these like bench captains, and then we started like this tradition where we passed down the baton of the bench captain to the next person, but it's a fun role because you get to actually have fun instead of a lot of other girls on my lacrosse team like were aiming for scholarships to like Duke, to Brown, like D1 schools, and they were dirty at lacrosse. Like they were so good, and I loved watching them. It was like they would just beat records at the school constantly. And then you look at the fucking boys teams of all the like for the boys soccer, like boys football, like I was like you fucking suck. Like, really? How are you the ones that are tougher than us, but you guys get like slightly winded from like 150-meter sprint? Like, get out of here, you know?
Girls are built different.
I know. We used to race them. I think this was my sister's idea because my sister played field hockey as well. And she convinced the coaches to have the football and field hockey teams like compete just so that like they could flirt with the boys. And I was like, Rachel,
brilliant.
I know, but also, but I was so self-conscious because I was like, I'm not that fast. And I was like definitely a little heavier in high school.
Yeah.
And and we would like compete, we would sprint against them. And it was just so fun to like watch the girls beat them.
Yeah.
And have the boys be like, well, the like density of our bodies is, and you're like, okay, now you're a scientist.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You were saying that boys are biologically stronger than girls, and now that we beat you, you're saying that, well, technically.
Right.
No, you're just out of shape. Like, don't put this on us. But yeah, so I loved playing sports.
Wow. So I always ask this of athletes when they come on the podcast, like, where do you think that like competing in sports had an effect on what you were eating? Like because as an athlete, I feel like you think about it more.
Maybe. I think some people on my team, definitely, I saw it a lot with other girls, unfortunately, and it was very sad. Just this like intensive, like, chicken, broccoli, and it's obviously that's good for you, and especially if you want gains, but I could tell that it was coming from like a deeper place. I think for me, I think mine started, I mean, most women's like issues with food start a lot younger than that. I think I felt better when I was playing sports because I didn't feel so guilty about what I was eating afterwards. And I think in the interim between sports, I would eat a lot more and then gain more weight because I wasn't doing having that like diligent or rigid, what's the word I'm looking for, that routine, you know what I'm trying to say, of here are the workouts we're doing, like burn the calories or whatever. And I was definitely in my best shape during like preseason and stuff like that. So I think it made it easier for me to actually like made my relationship with food a little bit easier because I didn't feel so guilty. But then in the off seasons, like I would start feeling guilty and then like eat more to cope and you know, all that. So
it's such a catch-22.
I know.
It's like, you know, you feel guilty about it, so you're gonna feel guilty by eating more.
It's definitely a coping mechanism. It's almost, I mean, it's filling a void. That's really what it is, and it comes from like much deeper places for each of us.
Right.
So yeah, I would say that with sports, like I I don't think it had a negative impact necessarily,
Right.
but I think the in between definitely.
And also, like you said, like you could see, you don't really have complete validation, but like you could see maybe with the other girls on your team, some disorderedness happening there.
For sure.
And did you play in college?
I wanted to get some ASMR.
Yeah.
I didn't play in college, but and I gained freshman 15.
Athletes always come on here and say that.
Yeah, definitely gained the freshman 15. But I was always kind of chubby in high school too. I think I just got like chubbier in college. And then sophomore year, I was in a really toxic relationship, or we weren't even in a relationship, a situationship.
Yeah.
And then I started like not eating. Like I was just like,
yeah.
And I, it's so, and I'm sure you relate to this, is I was almost like proud of myself.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like I was like, you're doing such a good job at like not eating.
Yeah.
And it felt good. So I kept doing it. And it was bad. Like I just wasn't happy. I wasn't, but I mean, I looked great,
right?
But I was not happy.
Right. You feel awful.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of, and then my weight like continued to fluctuate for a little bit. And then I graduated college. I got a job in news and I was working overnights. And that's when I really started gaining more weight. Like I'm making it sound like it's like 50 pounds, 100 pounds. It's, for me, what I would consider a lot of weight. Exactly. So I did overnights, and then to cope with how like miserable I was, so the first set of overnights, I still was able to work out. So I would do, that was 6 p.m. to like essentially 6 a.m. and awful, but
it's a tough schedule.
Awful schedule. But I would sleep all day, especially when you just graduate college and you want to do happy hour with your friends. And I was commuting from Westchester, so like I just had no life. And my boyfriend was long distance and all that. And but I was able to go to the gym before going into the office because I would wake up at like noon, or like 1, and I would have breakfast, and then I would go run like a couple miles. But I didn't have like a diligent workout routine. That was actually healthy. But I would just run, and I would do that in high school too. And then I did the worst one. What?
That was Petra.
Oh. And then the worst one was the 3 a.m. to essentially 3 p.m. shift. That one was suicide.
That's rough.
I would go in, and we worked holidays too, like Christmas, New Year's, all of it. Like, and I'm Jewish. It doesn't matter, but like it still was so sad. And I remember going in on New Year's Eve, and all my friends were out, and I had to go to bed at 5 p.m. on New Year's Eve because I had to wake up at 1 a.m. to commute into the city. To go to work. And I remember sitting in the freezing cold Hard News Center because they had it at like 45 degrees all the time because all the equipment was there. So it couldn't overheat. So I would have to like wear my jacket and gloves like indoors. And I remember sitting there, and they were passing around champagne to wish everyone a happy new year. And I was like, this is the 7th circle of hell.
Literally adding a commute on there, that's like salt in a wound.
Awful. And they wouldn't get me an Uber home because the only times that they would give you transportation was like overnight, obviously. So then I would have to take the train after that shift back to Westchester.
Oh my God.
And what I would do is I would, when I finally moved to the city still with that shift, I would cope with it by smoking a ton of weed.
Yeah.
And then ordering in French fries, milkshakes.
You deserved it.
Because because every day I was like, this is really hard. I need some sort of happiness right now because my life is so unhappy. That would 100%
be my mentality.
Yes.
1000%.
Then I promised myself, like, if I ever get off these night shifts, I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m. and go to the gym every single day. And then I got off the night shifts, and the first day that I had that new job, I went to the gym at 6 a.m. and I didn't stop doing it until COVID happened. Every day, 6 a.m., never stopped.
And once you get into the mindset of getting up at 6 a.m. to go to the gym, like, you kind of feel pride. Like, I
felt really proud of myself. And, like, I think, though, I was just dealing with so much emotional turmoil at that time. Like, the 20s are not fun.
20s are very stressful.
And I envy all these girls who are, like, still friends with their friends from, like, high school. And I'm just like, how?
Yeah.
How did you do it? Like, how did you have the emotional stability? Or is it a lack of growth? Like, I don't know. Like, an inability to want to grow and, like, just being, complacent in your life, which is not a bad thing. It's just different from is that a toy or one of your?
No, that's a toy.
Oh, okay, good.
But what growth that you like had this really stressful news job where you had these horrific shifts, and now you have a schedule that allows you to have a dog.
Sort of.
That's.
I think right now with my job though and comedy, I will say like It is hard because I'm in the office 5 days a week, and he has separation anxiety, so he has to go to doggy daycare, and it is really, really expensive.
Yeah, dude.
Like criminally. I'm like, you just put them in a playpen for a couple hours, and you're charging people like $600, $700, $800, $900 for like a couple days of that. Like it's really, really criminal. So that's kind of why I was like, I'm hoping that my parents will help co-parent, because it is getting financially and physically a little straining.
Yeah.
But I love him so much. I can't imagine him with anybody else
No,
but
of
our
course.
family. So it's hard in that way. And then because he has separation anxiety, like I'll pick him up and like right after work, I work out in the morning, not at 6 a.m. anymore. I think when COVID happened, I got even more into working out because I was like, I can't get fat. Like, I was like, I cannot gain weight.
It was like a compulsion when COVID hit.
And it still is. Like I still can't skip a workout.
Yeah.
And I got really into the Peloton workouts. You know, those ones that are like,
I know them
20-minute lower body. Yeah. And like, then I was like 10-minute upper body mixed with a 10-minute lightweight upper body. And I mean, I was in sick shape. But I spent but I hated my job at the time, and they weren't giving me a ton of work because they were kind of trying to like decide if they're going to lay people off.
Oof,
and
that's rough.
And luckily I didn't get laid off. So I survived, but there was just like, it was a really toxic work environment, and I had like nothing to do all day. So I spent literally most of my day. It was nice, actually. I would wake up and actually enjoy the morning instead of waking up at 6 a.m. and running to the gym.
Yeah.
So I started getting to the habit of waking up, having coffee while reading,
Nice.
then go work out, then do what I need to do. And I really liked that routine. But then we all started going back to the office, and now I have this job 5 days a week. And I'm like, I need to wake up earlier. Like I can't be going to the gym at 8:45 when I'm supposed to be in at 10.
Yeah.
Like it's really tough. So it does make me, like my obsession with exercise makes me late for work every single day. And now with comedy at night, I'm going to bed later. So it's harder, but I like, you know, the goal is to do comedy full time. So I'm just kind of like, when's that going to happen?
I know. It's so hard to manage. It's so hard to manage the being up late doing comedy.
Yeah.
And the waking up early to work out. This is a new thing for me.
You're doing it too?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So I started taking bar classes, you
They're
know, Pure
great.
Bar.
No, I've never done those. I do Equinox classes. So,
Yeah.
But I've done those ones, and they're so hard.
They're so hard, but it's like, because I have gym pass.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I on Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays, they have 7 a.m. classes over at the studio.
Oof.
So I wake up at 6 and I go. And there are times where like I'm going to bed at 1 a.m, but I do feel like I have this compulsion where like I want to go. And this is like, I think it's because I haven't really talked about this on the podcast, but like, I think it's because I am so scared that I'm going to all of a sudden wake up one day and just like not have the urge to work out anymore. And then I'll fall out of this like routine that I have been going for almost 4 months, and that's so new to me, and like it's taken me so much therapy to get to a place where like I have this relationship with exercise
That's healthy.
that's like something like I feel like because of a myriad of reasons, COVID's in there as well, of just like I just stopped working out. I just stopped working out, and I couldn't get back to it. Like it just was
It's
non-start.
really hard.
It's so hard.
It is a literal addiction. Like working out can become because it's that chemical in your brain. It's dopamine, right?
Yeah.
So it
and endorphins.
Yeah,
and all that
endorphins. That's
shit.
the one. Sorry. Dopamine's the one from getting likes on Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I should know this.
But they're both so delicious.
Yeah, they're yummy.
Yeah.
But it's the same like when you stop doing it, it's like you almost get like depleted of it.
Yeah,
in a way.
100%.
And it's hard to kind of like get that urge to get it again.
So something that I have learned, because believe me, my therapist hears all about this. I have told myself like, okay, if I get back, because I also feel lucky enough to be out till 1 a.m. doing comedy.
Same.
Isn't that what I want?
Yes.
I feel like I sit here all day and night bitching about how I'm not booked.
Yeah.
And so like I am grateful to have a show in Bayside, Queens or whatever the fuck it is.
I mean, we went to Staten Island.
We
for
went to
an
Staten
ambush
Island
bar show.
like what? What
On
were
a
we
Monday.
doing on a Monday
At,
night
like,
bar
10,
show?
yeah.
For 5 people.
Yeah.
But that's just
We
what
do
it
it.
is. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
And So I have gotten better about being gentle with myself of like, okay, I'm going to get to bed at 1:00. If I get up at 6, that's like what, 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Like, no, I need to then work out after work, which for me,
So much harder.
It's so much
No,
harder. Like
I can't,
for me,
I can't do
it has to be the first
Me
thing I do
too.
in the morning.
Me too.
But I will do it. If something like that happens, I will do the 5:30 class or whatever it is. And then sometimes you miss it, and it's like, I just have to be okay with myself that I've missed the workout that I really wanted to go to. But it's a lot of talking to myself about it.
I missed a workout class this morning and had to do my own workout.
Yeah.
And I was really hard on myself about it. Like, really, I was like, this is why you're going to gain weight. This is why you're going to get fat. Like, just really horrible. It's how I talk to myself. And I can't miss a workout. So I was like, now you need to go do your own workout. But the problem is, like, I don't have the training for it to be.
If it's not group fitness, I'm not doing it.
Yes, exactly. Like, it's so much better in a group fitness class for me to get that like really good workout. So when I do it alone, I don't feel like I get. I mean, it's still a hard workout. Like, I do a lot of strength, but I feel like I'm missing out on that like constant motion of it.
Yeah.
And I get hard on myself after that. So I'm with you on that. Like,
Yeah.
I really freak out.
Are you in therapy?
Yeah. Obvious.
Okay. I know, it's so funny. I actually think it's weird when people are not in therapy. No shade to anyone listening not in therapy.
But also shade. Go to therapy.
It's so funny how like now it's like it is weird if you're not in therapy.
Especially if like people I know who have no money are able to do it. I can't
know.
even hear that as an excuse. I get it. You might not be able to get the best therapist in the world, but
you know what?
Start the improvement process.
It's like anything. If you really want it, you will find it. Like I fucking love my therapist.
Same.
And
I'm so lucky.
I feel so lucky.
And I went through a bunch. Like, I was like, fuck, like, I'm not getting better. And then I found this one and I was like, ugh.
Yeah. Because like all of a sudden they have like the same relatable background, or like they understand what it is that like, your shit is. But all that is to say, like, I've gone through times of paying them $25 to paying them like $200. Like, it's like where I'm
at 200 right now.
Where I'm at, they meet me. And like sometimes it is tough. And if I literally went to my therapist and was like, I can't do that anymore, they'd be like, okay, yeah, we're coming. How's 75 work for you?
Wow.
And we'll revisit it, you know?
Yeah.
Because there had been times where like I went to them and I was like, I think we have to pause our sessions because I just can't afford it. And she literally brought me down to $25 because she's like, you're my patient. Like, because I was so used to other therapists being like, all right, sick, let me know. And she was like, I have like a legal responsibility towards you.
Yeah, wow.
And I'm like, whoa, I feel like this is like.
You have a good therapist.
Yeah, crazy. The reason why I asked if you were in therapy is because what you just described of like, I feel really bad, I missed the group, now I have to do my own, I feel like I'm not getting as good of a workout. My poor therapist has heard me like talk her ear off about just that, you know?
I haven't even talked to my therapist about this stuff yet.
Really?
Because we're getting into kind of like family stuff, like deeper family stuff, or like
totally,
you know, relationship dynamics and like where they come from. And I think that's quite frankly what I need more, because I think that all will bleed into all of this.
It's kind of crazy what unlocks.
Yeah, I haven't had therapy this good before, so I'm kind of like, oh my God, because I'm very self-aware. I do know where a lot of my things come from, and I'm like, whatever, but it's little things that you don't really notice, and I'm just kind of like, oh, whoa. Like, I know the last guy I dated, I knew conventionally that he shared the negative qualities about members of my family that I didn't like. And it was almost like I was attracted to that for the sake of repeating patterns.
It's so fucked that we do that.
I know. And I knew that. And I think that's why it didn't work out, is because I saw it. And I was like, okay, good. My frontal lobe has developed. Yeah. I am now aware on my own of this. But then talking to my therapist, we go even deeper than that, where she's just kind of like these little things that he did specifically, right? So even though I knew the vibe was there, I couldn't put my finger on exactly what about it was so similar. And I was like, I never thought about how that could be. You know, I'm literally dating the same dynamic in that tiny way, like that.
It's like, how does that happen?
It's all in here. And it's all subconscious. And
yes.
I mean, even today when I was thinking about coming over here, I was trying to think about like how to talk about, you know, my first experience with disordered eating and body image and stuff like that. And I have this vivid memory of when I was 5 years old, and I was looking in the mirror. We were on vacation in the Adirondacks, and I was looking in the mirror at my stomach in a bathing suit. It was a brown bathing suit, and I kept like rounding out my stomach to myself, and I started punching my own stomach.
Yeah.
And then I ran around my house 15 times in a row to try to lose the weight, like, because I didn't know how to lose weight,
You're
obviously.
5,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm 5. But I knew that was something that you were supposed to do. And I did that like 15 times. And I was like, I was so young. For that to already be in my brain at such a young age is so scary to me.
Yeah.
Because it's coming from conversations of people around me, not necessarily family. It could be like their friends come over and maybe they make a comment like, oh, Rebecca has such chubby cheeks. And it just, that's where it starts. And it's said and you can feel it. Like, you're a kid, so like you don't know everything necessarily, but you can feel an energy. And I remember feeling those comments as, even though they're said nicely, I could tell that there was malice to it.
Yeah.
So I was like, this person's not complimenting me. They're making me feel bad. Or I didn't know that, but I was like, they're being nice, but I feel hurt. That was like the feeling. And so I was just kind of like, oh, like those little things over the years just keep, piling on, and you keep getting those interactions because it's all you're used to. So you keep going towards those because it's familiar to you. And then you have to break, like when people talk about breaking the, generational stuff, whatever that's called,
breaking
what is it again?
Is it like breaking the generational trauma?
Yeah,
that sounds right.
Yeah, that does sound right. When people talk about that, I'm
breaking
kind
the
of
cycle.
Like, the cycle, thank you. I'm kind of like, where is that in my life? Like, I don't think I have that. I think I'm the problem. I think, and you are. That is what therapy is. Therapy is going, here's where you learned about all those problems. Here's where you are continuing those problems, and here's where you have to stop. And that's how you break the cycle, is you become a better person, and you listen to other people, and you recognize that most people are just holding up, like when you talk to somebody, you're seeing your own reflection. And when they're talking to you, they see, like, you're both just holding up mirrors to each other. So you have to be cognizant of that and like try to be better, but it's fucking hard.
It's so hard.
And you don't want to admit that you're wrong.
It's deep work.
I know. And it's more comforting to be like, I'm a victim. It's easier.
Yes.
It's more comfortable to be like, oh, my life is so hard. The hard stuff is going, I'm repeating a pattern and hurting other people, so I should stop.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
Yeah. And I think some people get to that place of what you just said through different modalities. Some people can do it with the tough love kind of sentimentality, and some people, because of whatever shit from their childhood, need like a more of a softer approach, which is something I talk about a lot with my therapist. But 5 years old is so young to be aware.
I'm sure you probably had that too.
When I think back to the very first time I ever had anything regarding being aware of that I was even in a body, and that food affects the way that it looks, I was 5 years old.
Yep.
And it was actually a little bit, I remember it was very pointed. Someone in my family sat me down and said, someone in our family is worried about you gaining weight, so we're just going to make better choices with what we eat. And I was 5.
Oh no.
And it's just like, you go your whole life with all these fucked up feelings and all like this weird relationship with food, but you don't know that you have a weird relationship with food. You don't know that you have an eating disorder, at least for me. Like, you don't know that you have this happening. And then all of a sudden, this is why I think therapy is so important, because I wouldn't have realized, even though it like obviously makes so much sense. 5 years old is too young to even be aware of this. But it takes seeing a therapist or even just somebody on the opposite side of you hearing that and being like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I received that reaction, of course it was from a therapist, and I was like, oh wait, like that's so fucked up. And I think that people are probably getting better about it now, because now it's like therapized people are having children.
Yes. And I love to see it, honestly.
Yes.
I really do. I know there's a lot of mockery towards like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not into gentle parenting, but like when I have kids,
right.
I'm like, no, like.
But being that you are somebody that has an experience of remembering at 5 years old, feeling like your belly, which is like a toddler's belly,
I know,
needs to be flatter, and you knowing that if you run or a 5-year-old's knowing of running around and hopefully making that change, as a mother, you might be a little bit you might have more of an opinion about someone saying like, look at these chubby cheeks.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for sure. Well, even now, so my sister has 2 kids right now, 2 girls, and I'm obsessed with them. I'm obsessed
you're
with my
so
nieces.
lucky.
I
That's
feel
so
very
awesome.
lucky. They're the best. But she has, her first kid was a preemie, so she's very thin by nature. Like she
Yeah.
is, and she's getting really tall because they're both, my sister and brother-in-law are both like giant. They're like, my sister's like 5'9" and he's like 6'3" or something.
Oh, yeah.
So like they're both going to be very tall, but she's getting very tall and she's 3, but she's such a baby that she like,
Yeah.
and because she's a preemie, I think she's in like the lower percent. I don't totally know the terminology for that, but she's like the like smaller than everybody
Yes.
else her age. And then my sister had another baby who is a chonker. She's a chonker, but like I get a little nervous because
Yeah.
I keep calling her that, or like
Right.
everyone in my family, like we joke. My family's dynamic is we kind of, and I see this reflected in how I talk to other people, is we kind of just like tease each other a lot.
Totally.
It's our dynamic. It's probably why I went into comedy, honestly, because it's just like, it comes naturally
Yeah.
to me. And I can take it, like, you know, that kind of thing. But I hear like members of my family and myself included calling her like a big ass baby.
Yeah.
And it's funny because she is a big ass baby.
Yeah.
Like, she came out huge, and like everyone and my sister and her husband, like they're all very thin. Not thin, they're just like, they don't gain, like she's such a lucky bitch. She doesn't fucking gain weight. Like she was pregnant and I was like, where?
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
one
yeah.
of those. So we were just surprised that she had like a big, because I was a big baby.
Yeah.
So, but then I'm like, we do, I think at some point have to stop referring to her as that, or if we're going to call her that, we say it in a pleasant way, like
Right.
it's a good thing. It's okay. Like,
Yeah.
that's, you know, like it's a beautiful thing kind of way.
Yeah.
Because I am now wondering, like, this all develops at that stage.
Totally.
So like, I don't want her to grow up with like an eating disorder, or like comparing herself to her older sister maybe one day or something like that, because subconsciously as an infant, we're sitting there going, you're a big ass baby. You know what I mean?
No, I know. It's so crazy because it's like,
I don't know how far back it can go, but I imagine
You
probably
don't-
there.
You don't
so
know. And like as a baby, you are taking in things.
everything.
Like,
You're a sponge.
when I see my friends with babies and I see the babies like looking around, I'm like, oh wow, you're taking in
Yeah.
seeing that for the first time.
Yeah.
But I think that you know, because you even are like aware of that a child might have like
Yeah.
some kind of complex, is it's leagues ahead of like the
I
way we
know.
were raised.
I know.
You know?
I know. I'm with my other niece, the one that's 3. She's brilliant. She's really one of the smartest kids, and I'm biased, obviously, but she really is.
Yeah.
Like she just speaks emotionally. She's highly emotionally intelligent. So I'm extra careful with her because she picks up on things that you never would expect a 3-year-old to pick up on.
Right.
Like she remembers everything. So with her, I feel like the one thing that I've been drilling into her brain is she's really cute. And gorgeous. Like she's blue eyes, blonde hair. We're Jewish. I don't know where these, honestly, because we all look. My sister has red hair and blue eyes, and then she married someone with blonde hair, blue or green eyes. So like
Yeah.
it makes sense that she came out that way. But she's gorgeous, and the problem is everyone in my like family, understandably, is always telling her how beautiful she is.
Right.
So when I hang out with her, I always say, like, she loves makeup right now. That's her thing. She's
Yeah.
really into makeup. So I always make sure that she knows that you look pretty without makeup.
Yeah.
Like I'll be like, she calls me Lala. So I'll be like, do you think Lala's pretty right now before I put makeup on?
Right.
She'll be like, yeah. And I'll go, and is Lala also pretty when she puts makeup on? And she'll go, yeah. And I'll be like, and is it okay if I don't wear makeup? And she goes, yeah. So I keep just kind of
Right.
drilling
Ingraining
that
it, yeah.
because I don't want her to start being like, I need makeup to be pretty, and I need,
Right.
because I'm wearing makeup right now. I like how I feel. Like,
Totally.
I'm like, oh my God, I feel so pretty. But I also know that like it took a lot for me to kind of get, like in middle school, I would put so much eyeliner on because I was like, I'm ugly. You know what I mean? I looked
Yeah.
so bad. I looked so weird. I just eyeliner too, like no mascara.
So-
I had no idea what I was doing, and like I would get made fun of for it. And so now my association with makeup is only positive. Like I don't think I need it all the time. I don't feel self-conscious walking out without makeup. I could go on a date without makeup. Like I don't care, and I want to make sure that she feels that way too. And I
Yeah.
want her to know that beauty's not everything.
Yeah.
So I'll sometimes be like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And of course she's like, a princess. And I'm like, because you want to create laws to make people's lives better. Like, I'm just like, I put these crazy, and she's like, yeah. She doesn't know what it means. Like, I'm like, because you, sometimes like she'll come up. It's so bad. I'll fuck with her a lot.
Yeah.
So she'll come up to me and like, she'll be like, Nala, why is the sky blue? She's in that phase. Which I didn't think was real.
Why?
Yeah, the why phase. So she'll be like, why is the star so far away? Or no, she'll go, why? Oh my God. It'll be something like, sorry, I'm blanking, but it'll be something like, why am I acting a certain way? Or something.
Right.
So like, she'll be like, why are you mad at Bop Bop or something like that? And I'll be like, you see, Eden, when you get older, bad things happen to good people. And my sister's like, stop
doing that.
What are you doing? You're traumatizing her.
Yeah.
It's so bad. I also taught her how to curse, but whatever. My first word was shit.
It makes them cool.
I know.
It makes them cool.
I did teach her spring break, which was bad. My mom pulled me aside and was like, okay, it's enough. Like, it's enough payback on your older sister. Like,
right.
It's enough. I taught her that anytime someone says spring break, she's supposed to flash them. So I'll go, Edie, spring break. And she'll go, woo!
And that's because you're proud of your body.
Exactly. And you have to pick and choose where you do that.
Oh,
It's
no.
so
Little
bad.
kids are so fun.
They're so fun to mess with.
Yeah.
They're so fun. I love her, but it's like sometimes when she's like mean to me, I'll just get down. My mom will be like, you're an adult, and I'll like actually fight with her.
Yeah.
And she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I am immature. I'm fighting with a child. I don't care.
I'm not the one with children.
Yeah.
Like,
like when she starts crying, I'll go, "Ah!" It's so bad.
really great for her development.
I know. Maybe she'll be a comedian too.
Yeah, right. Oh, man. I know. It's so crazy because it's like thinking back to the way, you're raised. It's like girls having the girls' toys, boys having the boys' toys.
Did you ever fight back on it?
Not really. I really didn't have, not that I don't think I had much of an opinion about it. But I do remember, or I don't remember this because it probably was I saw it on a home video, but I guess like when my older brother's 2 years older than me.
Oh, you have brothers.
Yeah, I have an older brother and a younger brother.
Oh, wow.
And,
okay. That's a different dynamic.
Oh yeah, completely. And
You've been assaulted by a man before.
Oh, literally.
You've been punched.
Yeah. Like I'm never worried about being in a fight because I can handle it.
Oh yeah.
But my older brother is gay, and when he was young, like real young, I guess like for Christmas one year, we got toy like vacuums and stuff, and like I don't know why cleaning supplies for children was like a toy.
Yeah.
But we got it.
Young.
Yeah. And I don't know if it was specifically for me or what, but whatever, we got it. And Frank just loved running around with that vacuum, and he'd put on my grandma's high heels.
Stop. And your parents were like, it's a phase.
Literally.
He's just little.
Because we're like super Catholic,
Yeah.
so it's just like, yeah, it was just like,
no.
he's just a kid. That's just what kids do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Total denial. I get it.
He's a flight attendant now.
Oh, of course. I'm obsessed. Which airline?
United.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I think they let them wear the gay pins, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They let them wear the gay pins
I
and
think
everything.
It's Delta that? No, Delta does. Never mind. Well, there's one that like you're not allowed to do
Yeah,
that.
I don't know which one it is.
It's one of them. I don't
know. Yeah. So it's just so funny because it's like kids are gonna be kids. Like they're gonna do what they're gonna. They're gonna gravitate to whatever they're gonna gravitate to.
I know.
So funny.
I like when I was younger. I think I never had brothers, but I give off that energy. I've been told, and like not all the time because I'm also like so girly.
Yeah.
But I do have that like I don't feel competitive with women. I feel competitive with men all the time. It's actually not a problem. I think it's great. I think it's a good problem to have.
I think I would much prefer that than you being
Same.
competitive with women.
I do experience a lot of women being competitive with me. I'm sure you do too. And that makes me very upset because I'm like, I'm on your team.
Yeah.
Like I might not like another woman, but I'm not going to like ruin their career out of jealousy.
Yeah, that's
right?
crazy.
Like I'm kind of like, well, at least I'd rather see her succeed than the asshole succeed.
Right,
like,
right.
I'd rather that. And I feel like growing up, I would always like get involved with the guys in like a competitive way.
Yeah.
So like it could be something like kickball or something. Like I would want to be on the opposite team of a guy that was being mean to me just so I
Right.
could destroy him.
Right.
Like, and I would get so competitive. And I think it's probably why I'm so attracted to male dominated
Yeah.
industries like news and now comedy.
Yeah,
Like
totally.
these are not.
And news people, I think, underestimate, especially now. I mean, it's always been, but especially now how cutthroat news is.
It is, yeah, it is really, and you don't know, your head's just always on a swivel.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why, like now with my job, I do really like my job, but it is, like, it's clear to me that everyone I work with, this is their life and their career. And I've tried making it clear to them, like, a lot that, God willing, in a couple years, I won't need a day job anymore.
Right.
Like, and I say that almost to make them, it's women, unfortunately, make them feel less competitive with me.
Right.
But they just are. Like, they
Yeah.
just, it's hard to have coworkers who feel scarcity
Yes.
when I feel abundance, and we're not aligned, and then we clash because of it. So I'm more chill and lax about the approach, and they're more like, you're an idiot, you're fucking everything up. And I'm kind of like, but it's not brain surgery and no one died. So I don't know.
Right. We're not curing cancer.
Like, yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
what the panic is. Also, like, okay, so we'll fix it next time.
Totally.
And I work for a comedy show now too, so there should be less pressure for stuff
Yeah.
like that. I think, honestly, surprisingly, there is more pressure because it is entertainment, I think.
Yeah.
But when I worked in news, there was definitely like a highly competitive edge between men and women, that there was like only one promotion and like this. And it was true. Like, they really intentionally don't let there be better opportunities because they don't want, they want to keep you as like an indentured servant.
In a box.
Yeah. Like, you're just making no money, but you can do, and I think that's what I fell into, which is why I left
Yeah.
the news industry, is because I was becoming kind of like, you know, the one that says yes and the one that knows how to do everything, but
Yeah.
isn't getting a raise and isn't getting respected.
Yeah.
And it was getting really hard. And I got Emmy nominations, which is sick. But like, at that point, this is so sad to say, but once I got those nominations, I was just kind of like,
Yeah. You felt nothing.
cool. I was like, great.
Right.
Now what?
Right.
Like, what did we do now? Like,
Right.
is that now what does that say about me? And it was almost like, I was almost resentful of it in a way, because I was like, you've put me through so much to this point
Yeah.
that I don't even care.
Yeah.
Like, it's great for a resume and I can brag about it, obviously, but yeah, it's not, I wouldn't say it's an industry for the weak, nor would I say it's an industry for the strong either, because there is this like weird, this is an industry for very insecure people
Yeah.
who overcompensate for something else. Like, they never got to, I don't know, have you ever done like debate teams?
No, but I know what you mean.
The weenie that's always
Yeah.
like being really like, well, actually, like the Ben Shapiros of the world,
Right.
like
Yeah.
those people.
Yeah.
That's kind of a lot of my experience with people. But
Right.
I've also worked with like people that I'm still very close with to this day, because we share a trauma.
Yeah.
Like, we share working overnights. We share seeing school shootings. We share seeing all of that, like live, like the Vegas shooting. I was walking into work. Wait, what time? I don't remember the exact time that it happened, but I remember being in the office as it was happening. And I was
Right.
like, oh,
Yeah, this is crazy.
Fuck, yeah.
And it's like a drop everything moment.
yeah. My first job in news was at MSNBC, and my first breaking news, it was like 2 weeks into my internship, like, was the Orlando shooting at the Pulse nightclub. And I remember, I think I worked like a 11 or 12-hour shift or something like that. But I remember that kind of like solidified my interest in a
Yeah.
weird way.
Yeah.
Whenever anybody asks me like my favorite thing about working in news, I always lie, and I'm like, you know, the passion to inspire people, because deep down I'm like, school shootings, missing
No,
white
literally.
women, like it's weird.
You're like an adrenaline junkie.
Yes, 100%. And I do stand up comedy.
Yeah.
Like, I live in New York City. Like, it's yeah.
Even you saying, even like going back to the beginning of this conversation when you were saying like I worked crazy shifts like 6P to 6A,
Yeah.
3A to
Yeah.
3, like those, you have to be, for lack of a better word, a psycho to be willing to do that. And I think that it's something that I think women work really, really hard.
Yeah.
And I think especially female comics work really, really hard.
Yeah.
Like, there is something inside of us that, like, even before I even did comedy, this is before you did comedy, what you're describing, just this, like, just taken ourselves to the limit of just like what we
You know
can
what it
actually
is?
do.
We have a chip on our shoulder.
Yeah.
It's a chip on our shoulder. And
Yeah.
we, for better or for worse. And, there's some women who, like my best friend is a teacher, and I love seeing her be a teacher because she cares so much.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how are you so wonderful?
Right, right.
I go in every day like I want blood. Like I'm just like I'm
sure.
like murder. Like at work and in comedy, I'm like I want to see someone cry. Like it's so it is there. We just go into it with a chip on our shoulder. Like we're almost overcompensating the same way that men overcompensate when they have small dicks.
Yeah.
And I don't know what ours is. Like I hope I have a small clit. Like, I'd hate to. I think that's
just the wanting like. I feel like inherently go on stage where people being like women aren't funny. So it's like we have something to prove.
I know. And I think it's like a deep seated, on a personal level for each individual woman. It is kind of that mindset that they've been told their whole lives. Like not necessarily women aren't funny, but kind of like you aren't good enough or you can't do this or like you're not this. And then it manifests itself in these ways of like, I'm going to prove to everybody that has ever known me and people that don't know me and the whole wide world, like not to tell me I can't do something because I can do something. And that's what makes women so powerful in any industry is that chip on their shoulder of being like, fuck you. You don't know what you're doing. I know what I'm doing. And I'm sick of people telling me that I don't know what I'm doing because you never had to deal with someone telling you that you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And then there's the worst kinds of women, which are the women who lean into how the men think and put other women down because of that scarcity mindset.
Yes.
And I think that's what I hope the world changes. I hope that changes soon because it's annoying. I hate meeting girls thinking I like them and then it turns out that they're very competitive and I'm just like, ugh.
The more people adopt an abundance mindset, the better that will get.
It's so much easier that way.
I know.
And it's
hard to stay in. I have to it's a constant
when
work
I don't
in
get
progress.
booked, I'm like, well, I'm like, I guess that abundance mindset's becoming a little scarce all of a sudden.
Yeah. I guess I'm a horrible person that has
hates me.
nothing.
Yeah. No one thinks I'm funny. I don't have enough followers. I don't have this.
I think going through all those, like what you just described, I think going through that is part of like wading the waves to get through to abundance. Like you have to get through the break.
Yeah.
And, if you're just constantly, if you're able to be on the other side, you maybe, I don't want to say lose perspective. Like, what am I trying to say? Like, the universe is going to constantly confront you with
adversity,
scarcity, and it's all about how you handle it. Like, it's all about, and like, it has taken it. You don't get abundance overnight.
No,
it takes years.
I keep thinking I'm a better person, and then I get faced with adversity, and I'm like, "Fuck."
Yeah. I'm a weak bitch.
I'm like, "God damn it!" I got angry again.
Yeah, my spirit's weak. I'm broke.
Yeah, it's awful. I went through like Are you one of those people that when it rains it pours?
Oh yeah, of course.
Same.
Yeah.
It is so. Like my friends will like go through a breakup and then that's it. Whereas I go through a breakup and then I lose my job.
Yeah.
And then and it's just like, everything.
Yeah.
And then people do the thing where they're like, you attracted it. I'm like, go fuck yourself.
I know.
I didn't want this.
I will say that when that happens, when it rains and pours, I'm getting so much better at okie dokiing it.
Yes. And just letting it like.
I'm so glad that like you get what I'm saying. Because some people are like, I don't know what you mean.
Because there's nothing you can do.
There's nothing I can do.
Like,
it's like
life is just life sometimes.
Yeah, literally like so much can happen and you're just like, okay, all right, parking it, all right.
Time to put my bathing suit on because we're swimming.
Exactly.
We're swimming.
And I hate the way I look in the bathing suit.
So now I'm thinking about that. And now summer's around the corner and I got a little too excited about pasta this winter. So guess I'm not doing trips.
Yeah.
Just spiral. No, I like last in 2023 is where I left my job in news and I went to a nonprofit. And then they fired me after 1 month. And I'd come from 6 years in the news industry in the same place like the whole time. And then very out of nowhere, unceremoniously kind of fired me with looking back, I definitely should have done something about it.
Yeah.
Because they gave me no reasons. I walked in and they didn't give me anything. And I was like, well, can you tell me what I could improve for my next job? And they're like, it's just not a good fit, like over and over. They were really mean. This place was awful.
Yeah.
Like, and what they're doing is good, but the way they run it is really, awful. And I was so ashamed. And then the guy I was seeing at the time, I had a boyfriend. He's a comic. I had a boyfriend at the time. He dumped me like 2 weeks after. He dumped me that day. No, he dumped me that day that I got fired.
Oh,
He dumped me that day I got fired. And then like we kind of got back together and then like broke up officially like 2 weeks later or something. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Like, this is a joke.
Aren't you supposed to be supporting me right now? Like not doing this. So for me, that was like my when it rains and pours. One more thing happened to me then, but I'm forgetting what it was. It was like, I think someone died. It was like something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's like what is happening?
Like all at once. And that does seem to happen for me. It's like very extreme things.
Yeah.
So right now I'm in like a little bit of a when it rains it pours situation where like I went through the breakup.
Yeah.
And then I started seeing someone like kind of quickly after. And then we just broke up too. Well, I can't call it a breakup because we were never anything.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
kind
but
of like
you're no longer seeing the person that you were
and
once
so
seeing.
now I'm in, and like I kind of started panicking a little bit because I'm 29. Like, you know, I do want to have a family, and now I'm like, do I need to freeze my eggs? Do I need to? But then I'm like, comedy's not taking off either. My job's blah. Like I'm kind of in a weird place, and I'm hoping it's a precipice. That's what I keep telling myself.
Yeah.
But I'm scared.
This is when it's so much easier said than done.
I know.
Like, hearing this is probably annoying, but this is when you have to stay in abundance. And
I
like,
know.
I feel stupid saying that because the wrong people have now say that.
Yeah.
But I know who I am. I know my beliefs, so it's fine. But
The
this
wrong
is
people have started saying that. Yeah.
and it's just one of those things where you have to how am I trying to articulate this? Like being 29 and worried about, you know, potentially like, do I freeze my eggs, whatever? That's how you get stuck.
Yes. Yes.
And you have to get through the break.
Yes.
You
and
know?
I'm stuck right now. I'm stuck with comedy. I'm stuck with my job. I'm stuck with relationships because I keep like I'm panicking so much about it that I'm in freeze mode.
Yeah.
Which is why I think now I'm not going to be dating for a little bit, which is the opposite of what it sounds like I should be doing.
No, I think it's great.
But I actually think it's the right choice for me is to just I need to be in a position where I don't let other people's opinions of me kind of change who I am as a person.
Right.
Why are you doing this? Oh my God. And I'm doing the work right now, and I feel like therapy is finally hitting its stride with me where I do feel like I'm growing, and I don't want to keep looking to other people's like opinions of me from people in my life. Not obviously like online. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Yes,
Relax.
queen.
I know. He gets antsy when we've been sitting here longer than an hour. I know we're at an hour. We're wrapping up.
And so I think now I'm just kind of like, you know what? I'm going to not date. I think now I'm in a position where I'm like, okay, I think the most recent like guy I was seeing failed, like wasn't that bad because I was like, it wouldn't have worked long term.
Yeah.
But I think the one right before him, definitely I was like, he was everything on paper, everything I was looking for, but personality wise, just it was going to end up becoming a very not good relationship.
Yeah.
And unfortunately it had to end for that reason. And I think that kind of solidified me being like, now is a really good time for me to put all that stuff I say out loud into action of being like, I don't need a man. Like I want a man. Like I don't need these things. I want these things. Like I don't want to have to need anything but me. Mm-hmm. And in order to do that, I have to stop like using that as a kind of like call for help and use it more as a call to action. Like, and be like, if I really want to be that financially independent person, like who doesn't need to rely on somebody else who is successful in her own right, I start today. Yeah. And I can't keep dating people thinking that they're the white knight that's going to save me when I fall and fail and whatever. I need to fail on my own, and I need to know how to kind of rebuild from that. And I've done it before. I've failed so many times without anybody, and I don't know why every time this happens to me, I'm always like, I'm never going to get out over this, and I'm never going to, and I'm like, but I have so many times before. I think now I need to just do it without waiting for somebody to come save me, and I need to just do that. So that's kind of where I am right now, and it feels really good. Like
that's great.
I'm just doing what I need to do.
Yeah. And I think that's wisdom. is being able to look back on the experiences where if you're currently in a situation of like, I don't know how I'm ever going to get through this. You have the wisdom of the other times that you've gotten through it.
Yeah, and it's hard because I know
hard to
it's
call
not.
on that.
Yeah, it's because it's not a good time. It's like you're really. I lost all my friends, and like I just like had to start anew, and then I got into really toxic relationships, like almost like out of convenience more than interest. So I would date these really, really dangerous guys.
Convenience breeds toxicity.
It does, because you're just like, we'll make it work, and there's nothing in common. Like, how can it work? And then it becomes, two magnets that aren't connecting to each other, and it's bad. So I got, when I lost all my friends, and I went through like an awful breakup, and then I just like, all my 20s were, like I said at the beginning, were kind of me being like, everyone else seems happy and stable, and I feel so chaotic and unstable and scared and like a fuck up and a black sheep and kind of all that. And so now I'm just embracing it. I'm like, okay, if I'm the black sheep, if I'm the failure, if I'm whatever might come into my brain, like, okay, okie dokie. I guess that's it now. So I'm kind of there, and I like it, and I want to stay there.
And that's a perspective shift, because
it's hard.
Yeah, it's really hard.
Because I go back a lot. And I'm like,
sure.
Stop.
Yeah. But even just having the awareness that you're going back, having the awareness that because I used to beat myself up of like, oh, I'm back. And then it's like, no. Having the awareness that you are in a place right now that is stunting is good, because then you can move forward, because so much of I talk about this with people that come on the show about weight blindness. Like, so much of not being able to lose weight is just not realizing that you are in a place where you feel like you should lose weight. Because you don't see it. Mm-hmm. Not that you need to lose weight, but that's
if that's something you want to do.
Yeah. It's just having the ability to see where you're at.
It's so hard, especially with, oh my God, weight. I mean, I could do like an 18-hour podcast on, like it's such a whole thing. But I do focus a lot of my inability to control external things on my weight.
And trying to control that.
Yeah, and then ironically, like, I'll go back and forth so much, because that is what disordered eating is you don't have a healthy relationship, so you go back and forth a lot. So I'll either like stop eating. I was bulimic for a while, but not the cool kind. I didn't throw up. I just took laxatives. I wasn't strong enough for that.
You have wonderful teeth, so that checks out.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, true. But like, and like with anorexia, I didn't do it long enough where it had like long-term damaging effects. It would just be like, it was almost like I was excited for a bad breakup, because I knew that meant that I wouldn't.
Destructive behavior.
Yes, so that I could go back into.
It's like a drug.
It's so bad. And now I'm aware that my problems now are with over-exercising.
Yeah.
And then being really hard on myself if I didn't hit that quota every single day. So when I tell people I have a bad workout, my bad workouts are other people's great workouts.
Yeah, totally.
It's good to be active, but I am like, am I injuring my body?
Yeah.
Like, am I going to create like long-term health problems that I'm not even aware of yet? On like my bone density or my muscles? Like, I don't know. And then unfortunately what I do is, you probably do this too, because this is a very girl thing. I will like feel so anxious and stressed and just eat 3 bowls of pasta.
Oh yeah.
And then the next day be like, I have to work it off. And then I'll try to work it off. I won't get a good enough workout for it. And I'll be mad at myself all day that I didn't work out all the pasta away, and then I'll eat the pasta again at night. And I'll just keep doing it.
Yeah, I an older version of me relates to that.
Yeah.
I've been through enough therapy now where I've realized where if I just give myself a fucking break on the pasta doesn't repeat itself until the next time I'm in a place where I'm eating 3 bowls of pasta.
Like, you mean if you're like, it's okay that I'm eating this much pasta?
Or if I eat it and I immediately feel bad, I have a conversation I have so many conversations with myself.
Yeah.
I have a literal conversation with myself, sometimes even out loud, where I'm like, it's okay. Like, this is okay. This is not ideal, but this is okay, because this is what happened.
Yeah.
You're not going to die. No one's going to die. You're not going to all of a sudden gain 10 pounds because you just ate all this pasta.
Yeah.
Because I think that's also part of it, where it's like, people with disordered eating sometimes look at overeating as like, well, now this is going to live here on my body.
Yeah.
Which is just scientifically not true, but like, we're warped, so we don't know. or we don't realize. And so, yes, I relate to what you're saying of eating something that I feel like I've eaten too much. I feel bad about it. I feel sick about it. I'm going to work it off tomorrow. I don't work it off to the degree or at all that I wanted to. And then I repeat the behavior again. Being the only way I was able to get out of that cycle, which I'm not healed. This still sometimes does happen, but this is the awareness piece we were just talking about. Being able to stop it at the feeling bad and saying like, I can even let myself feel bad about this, but it doesn't have to be the pattern repeating of because I know what's going to happen next. Yeah. And that has helped a lot. But again, I have been talking about this with my therapist I saw my therapist in January 2020.
Oh, wow. The same one?
The same one.
That's great.
Yeah. So it's been 5 years and it doesn't feel like that long, but
they know you so well now.
Yeah. And I realized like, whoa, this
you can't go to someone else.
Known me for so long, you know? And so it just takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work to get through that. To work on those emotions.
Dude, like even last night I got back at like close to midnight probably, like not that late, and I was hungry because I ate dinner at like 5:30.
Right.
And I was hungry and I had like a whole thing of mac and cheese.
Yeah.
And I woke up today like fuck.
Yeah.
You know,
just
like
mad.
Yeah, just unhappy. And even while I was eating it, I was like, you're gonna be so mad tomorrow. And then like I was thinking in my head that saying that's like a moment on the lips is forever on the hips.
Oh yeah.
And, like, in repeat in my head. And then like today I didn't get the best workout that I wanted, and now I'm just like, well, time to skip a meal, and I'm not going to. I'm going to have pasta. You know, it's just I know this routine, so I'm kind of just like, don't fall. And it's because I'm going like I'm, you know, I had like the one breakup and then like one right after. So I'm kind of just like, okay, you're not in a good spot, so just go easy.
Yeah, you got to go easy on yourself. I mean, I wish tough love worked on me. I wish someone being like, get up and make your bed work for me. I wish, but it's just not the way I'm wired.
It works on me.
I'm
a tough love because
my advice would be to go slow. But if you're a tough love person,
I think the reason why is because if I'm coddled too much, it will enable the bad behavior because I will be like, it's okay that I'm eating poorly and I'm doing, and I'll start being comfortable in the bad decisions because someone's saying like, do what you need to do, even though that's not what they're saying. That's what I'm hearing.
Right.
So when
oh my God, that's so true.
Yeah. So when someone says to me, you're doing this to yourself and that's why this is happening. I'm like, whoa, like I don't want that.
You need to be snapped out of it.
Like I'm like, whoa, no, I'm not. Like I'll prove you wrong, you know, like, so I need to kind of like, it works better for me. I'm also an immediate person. Like I love efficiency.
Yes.
So I think for me, the like softer approach backtracks me. And then it takes longer for me to get out of it. And the tough love approach is way more immediate. It's way more me. It fucks with my head because it makes me be like, I'll prove you wrong. And it works.
Right.
Like it's almost like a psychological thing. Like back to that, like I'll show you kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that works for me.
Totally. And it's just, there's no right way. There's a million right ways. There's a million wrong ways.
Yeah.
It's just all about how you're wired and what works for you and where you are and what phase of your life. Like maybe tough love works for me when I'm not in my luteal phase.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It really just depends.
I know. I'm in follicular right now, so I'm like, I should be a lot happier, but I think I'm just like, maybe this month won't be.
Yeah. Like outside factors, you know, like I don't think our menstrual cycle took into account, you know, capitalism and social media. So and
it didn't.
Biology. We need a better evolution.
I know. That's so funny.
Oh God, dude. Oh my God. Well, we've been chatting for a while.
I know.
I have so much editing to do on this.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's so fine.
I yap
it's fine.
a lot.
No, it's not.
I could talk about anything.
No, it's not even. It's not the yapping. It's the dogs of it all, which I love. It's so fun because once they chilled, how nice.
I know. Look at this.
Like this is amazing.
Look at him. He's just snuggled. I don't even know if he's comfortable.
That's your baby.
I think he just wants to be in my skin.
Yeah, literally. I love it. Amazing. Well, is there anything else that you want to depart our listeners with before you plug your stuff?
Fuck bitches, get money.
I love it. I love it. Awesome. Okay. Let the people know where to find you.
Instagram at Rebecca Reingold. TikTok at Rebecca Reingold Comedy, YouTube Rebecca Reingold.
Perfect.
All Rebecca Reingold.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Anywhere that you can find Rebecca will be in the description of the show notes.
Except all the criminal stuff, but
Yeah,
fine.
those have been expunged.
yeah, alleged.
Okay. Yes, this has been great. Thank you guys so much for joining. And until next week, we'll
Thank
talk to you.
you.
Bye.
Bye.